The daiquiri. You'd be hard pushed to find a better rum cocktail. It is my favourite rum cocktail by a long way, but only if it's made properly. And that is one of the big questions I get a lot in my comments. What is wrong with my daiquiri? The reasons I get can be anything from it being too tart and citrusy, to be too cloying and sweet. Other times, the comment I get, it just tastes flat. And there's a whole multitude of other reasons why people don't like their daiquiris. But by the end of this video, I'm going to help you fall in love with my favourite cocktail. I'm going to show you how to make the best daiquiri possible. And I'm going to kind of debunk a few things to help you on your way. Now, before I dive in, I want you experienced daiquiri lovers. I want you to drop down in the comments below and let us know your favourite rum. What is the be all and end all rum for you in a daiquiri? And also let us know your ratios, your recipe. Now I'm going to walk you through the 4 main problems that you will have with your daiquiris. We'll talk about the rum, we'll talk about your recipe, we'll talk about the ice, and we'll talk about your shaking. So let's talk about the first issue, the rum. Now, I am a traditionalist. I will always advocate for column still Spanish origin white rums in a daiquiri. However, you will notice there is a little bit of a quirk in here as well, because on a blind tasting, I really do love the St. Lucia white. But again, that is column still rum that's in there. For me, the archetypal, the stereotypical daiquiri is light, clean, crisp, bright. That is what a daiquiri is all about. And for me, it is column still rum that gives you that. Now, that is not to say that you shouldn't use pot still and you shouldn't use aged rum. You do you. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. And I keep emphasizing that. I say that so many times in videos. Do not let anyone tell you a daiquiri should be this or that. Okay? Yes, I am a traditionalist. Yes, I love my column stills. But I am fully appreciative of so many millions of people around the world that will go Jamaican pot still. They might go Barbados pot still, you know, El Dorado, Guyana, you know, you do you. But there is something magical about light, clean, crisp and bright in a daiquiri. And that is all about column still. But heck, if you want to go flavoured rums as well, you know, don't, all right, that's more of a liqueur. But you know, banana, pineapple, coconut, make epic daiquiris as well. Fun daiquiris. Oranges, you know, I'm going to be rocking out the Damiso very soon. Oranges from Guadeloupe. Fruit-based oranges. We've got a few others came from Mauritius. You know, flavoured rums work amazingly well. Probably for me personally, a lot better than some of the slightly more aged pot still variants. Even white rum. I would prefer a flavoured rum to a white pot still rum in a daiquiri. Now let's move on to the recipe. Now, when we talk about the daiquiri recipe, it is hard to go wrong. It is 3 ingredients: rum, lime, sugar. That is it. Okay, there is nothing more complicated to the daiquiri. It's simply those 3 ingredients. However, when we talk about the recipe, we actually talk about the ratio. Now, everyone, I'm firmly of this mind, because I do this in cocktail masterclasses all the time. I'm firmly in the mind that everyone will have a different ratio for what they prefer in a daiquiri. Okay, full disclosure, I'm a 5-to-1, 1.5 guy. That's my kind of ratio, and I'll explain that in a second. Now, I firmly believe that when you start off making daiquiris, you start off with a 2-1/2. Okay? Now, what that means is basically that the easiest way to start is think shots. 2 shots, 1 shot, half a shot. Doesn't matter whether you're a UK in 25ml, US in 30ml, it doesn't matter. Start off with a 2-1/2. Now, I'm just going, because I haven't used this for ages and ages, you pick your favourite rum, okay? I'm going Don Q Cristal, and that, as I say, I haven't used it for ages, that's why. So 2 shots. So I'm going UK in this, all right? 50ml. So 2 lots of 25, 50ml. So we do 50ml of rum in there, okay? The next ingredient you want is your lime juice. Now, Again, but a lot of you will know this at home. I actually do use fresh bottled lime juice at home because I'm doing a lot of cocktails. I only really use fresh limes on masterclasses. So if I'm in here just on the spur of the moment and want to make cocktails all through the week or film or whatever, I've always got lime juice. Now, the big argument about store-bought and fresh limes, actual limes and bottled lime juice, and I'm not talking about from concentrate. You'll have seen the stuff I use, ODK, Finest Cool, Funkin', those sort of brands. You know, you have to remember they are juiced within hours of picking, okay? And then a small amount of antioxidant is put in them, the same as the one uses, as opposed to fresh limes from your supermarket, actual limes that may have been picked 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks ago before they make it onto your supermarket shelves. So you've got the whole argument, what is fresher? The only difference is with fresh limes, you do sort of get the essential oils from the zest if you are squeezing. That's the only difference. But again, don't let anyone tell you you can't make a great daiquiri with bottled lime juice, as long as it is 100% lime juice and not any of that from concentrate and all those sort of sulfuric acids or whatever it is in there. So we've done 2 shots of rum. We're now going for 1 shot, 25 ml of lime juice in there. And then we come on to the sugar. Now, again, the sugar will matter. If you're making sugar at home, you might do a 1-to-1 ratio. You might do a 2-to-1 ratio. Again, I always advocate for store-bought, therefore Monin and Place and things like that. Again, the quality of it is superb. It lasts for flipping ages. Inherently does go to more of a 2-to-1 ratio. Okay, 2 parts sugar, 1 part water, and that. So it is a thicker sugar syrup, if you like. So I do half a shot, 2, 1, half in here. All right. Now this might be a little bit too sweet for me. So how the ratios kind of differentiate. As I say, we've done 2, 1, half. 2 shots, 1 shot, half a shot of lime, of sugar. Okay, 2, 1, half. If you want to go, say, 5 parts, you would then do a different part for a different measurement for your part. So I've done 1 part here is 25 ml. If you want to go like me, a 5 to 1.5, you might take your parts down to a 10 ml part, for instance. So my 5 to 1.5 is actually 50 ml of rum, 20 ml of lime juice, and 15 ml of sugar, which actually gives you more booze forward. All right, the sweetness to lime is there, but play about. The reason I say start with the 2, 1, half, because it's so much easier to sweeten up a cocktail at the end than it is to sour it back down. So if you start with a 2, 1, half and need more sugar, you can add another half of sugar to make it a 2, 1, 1. So simple. But if you over sweeten it to start off with, you then can't bring it back. You then have to add more rum, more lime juice, and the ratios are all off. So we've chatted about the rum, we've chatted about the recipe, the ratio. Let's move on to the third thing, the ice. Do not skimp on your ice. You want proper, freshly frozen ice. Again, if ice has been sitting out in an ice bucket for an hour or so, an hour and a half an hour, it will have started to melt, and we call it wet ice. It won't give you the same result, all right? It just won't. It will add too much dilution and not enough chill. So you want plenty of properly frozen solid ice. If you buy supermarket ice, it's got tubed in there. Again, that will melt so quick. All right. So we've got solid blocks of ice, and we're going to completely fill the cocktail shaker with ice. Don't skimp. Do not skimp on your ice, which brings us on to the 4th main issue with people's daiquiris, and that is the shake. Now, with the shake, you want to shake for 10 to 12 seconds. You don't want to do any feeble shakes like that. You need to give it proper welly, because what you want is your cocktail shaker properly frosty, properly frozen. That will tell you that the daiquiri is cold, properly cold, and that's when it tastes its best. Even this now, after 5 or 10 minutes, doesn't taste anything like what it did before, because it's warmed up. And then when we come to serving up, I'm going to steal Tony from Monin's little saying, don't be a poop, freeze your coop. A nice cold Nick and Nora glass. If you want to go into a rocks glass with ice, a whiskey tumbler with ice, again, you do you. But for me, I like it traditional. I like it served proper ice cold, 2-3 gulps, and they're done. But double strain to get rid of all those little tiny shards of ice. And there we go, proper ice cold, lovely daiquiri. If you want to, if you're looking at that and you want, oh, I want a bigger martini glass, double the ratio, double the recipe, it's up to you. But the important thing to note is once that starts to warm up just slightly, it doesn't taste the same. Proper daiquiri done. Cheers.